Brandon Cutler from AEW. You're watching Cole TV.
Greetings and salutations, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Pro Wrestling 60, where we talk about everything that happened in this past week in the world of professional wrestling. I'm XLJ, the OG, joined by my partner in crime, my brother from another mother, this week hailing from the Sudan, one Mr. B-Ro.
I am the Maharaja. I am the gender.
Oh, I thought we were going with the Sabu there, so a little Bombay, Michigan, not India, but
when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. Something like that. Real quick, before I say the infamous line and we get into all the this and that of the week of pro wrestling,
because we
just noticed something.
Yes.
Cole TV is at 749 subscribers.
Ooh, that's sexy.
What if we get
What
750 today?
That would be
It could happen.
Show your love and
It
support.
would
And
be
hey,
dope.
we seriously appreciate all your love and support for not only PW60, but all Cole TV. We love you all. And I can tell you this, we've got a very exciting week coming up to you this week and next week. It is going to be exciting. But B-Roll, you ready to hit us with that beautiful line?
Yes. Let's get right down into the business of it. Let's give the people what they want.
Mm-hmm.
The clock starts now.
That's right. And our top story this week, the infamous Blood and Guts match took place this past week here on PW60 at TNA Dynamite.
That would be awesome.
That would be, yeah, we got our own Blood and Guts. That'd be dope. So let me ask you, Mr. B-Roll, what were your thoughts on Blood and Guts this year? Because you know I got mine.
Yes, we have talked about this, but so Blood in the Guts, it was there. There was blood. I don't recall seeing any guts, but
which is probably a good thing.
So I feel like the match, it started out like really hot, like people were getting color early, and I'm like, oh my gosh, if they're doing this now and they're already starting to bleed, what are they going to do towards the end? We almost have someone set on fire and then not set on fire. And so this is the third installment of Blood and Guts, correct? It's been 3? Or is
I almost thought
4?
there was 4. Hell, I think there's been 4. Yeah.
I think there has been 4 because the Elite have been in 2. Jericho's been in 2. So that would be 4.
Yeah, I think, anyways, regardless.
Point being,
yeah,
we both agreed on this statement. This was the weakest out of the Blood and Guts matches that AEW has done.
We're starting off with the hot take. It was fine for what it was. I mean, these matches are always car crashes, but to me, I felt like a lot of the stuff in this match was kind of like, let's recycle from other Blood and Guts matches. I'm sorry. And once again, I love AEW. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to shit all over them, but I got to be honest, this match just didn't really do it for me. I wish I kind of get like with the Swerve and Hangman, what we got there. I wish we would have more of that. I like the stuff with Darby and Jack Perry. I don't know. There was just, and yeah, I mean, they stapled the shit out of Swerve, and that was like crazy. I don't know, man. I just felt like, and I feel like the Elite team, as great as they were, I mean, I don't know. They were just like randomly put together because they were kind of tied in with other feuds, which they were, but there's just something about this match felt off, man, and just like it wasn't bad. It's just it's a high standard, okay? Because these blood
Yep.
and guts matches are usually like just insane, and this one was just it was okay. Like wasn't terrible, but it just was okay. And then what do you agree with AEW beating the Elite?
I don't know. I mean, for whatever, I mean, to me, and no disrespect to the who was on Team AEW, because you got some people on that team for sure. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I look at Team AEW and Team Elite, and it just kind of looked like a super team.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah, I don't know. The best way I can describe this match, it just felt like something was off. And the thing is, if you want to be technical, the finish of this match was the exact same as the year before, just put in different wrestlers. Because remember, Jon Moxley submitted last year because they were beating the crap out of Wheeler Yuta. Similar here, even though they're set Jack Perry on fire, and that crazy bastard probably would have allowed him to do it. But I don't know. Like I said, not bad, but just felt off. The match just felt off to me. I think it's the best way to describe this. And we're gonna.
I'm gonna say this, and yes, I know it is a gimmicky match, and then we're gonna move on from this.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like in this match they worked for the pop versus the storytelling. Like the staple spot. Yeah, that was cool, but like I would much rather almost seem like, because we got a hint of like, Swerve wasn't going to play well with his past.
Right. And they didn't really do a whole lot with that other than the promo build up to this. Yeah. Just, I don't know. I think you nailed the hammer on the head there. But I mean, it still was a decent match. Don't get us wrong. But I will say this, the rest of Blood and Guts, the Dynamite was awesome. First and foremost, finally, we have the debut of Camille, as she is now showed up in AEW, and she's the heavy for one Mercedes Moné. How do you feel about that?
Oh, you know exactly how I feel about that.
Oh, yeah.
I think I texted you like instantly after it happened.
Oh, God, we would spend the whole show talking about that, so we're going to save that for like a prediction show or something later on down the road, but I know you're very excited about what's happened there. It's great to see her finally on TV too, man. So I'm happy to see her. I will admit I'm not the hugest Mercedes fan, but I am intrigued to see what this partnership brings from them. Hell of a matchup too with Minoru Suzuki and Chris Jericho. Jesus, Jericho's chest looking like freaking hamburger raw meat. Ugh, that was crazy. And then Toni Storm showing up now to attack Mariah May, and like Toni Storm's kind of got this new crazed look, man. So I don't know. Overall, Dynamite was awesome, and also we got to mention too, we got another matchup between Hikaru Shida and Britt Baker. I mean, and Britt Baker's in-ring return too as well. Dynamite was a solid show. Dynamite was awesome, regardless of what our thoughts are on Blood and Guts. Still, it was an amazing, amazing show. And I tell you what, Tony Khan had a good week this week because ROH's Death Before Dishonor took place this past Friday night. And I got to say, man, I wasn't expecting a whole lot out of this. This was a damn good pay-per-view. Solid from top to bottom. And that's the thing, man, with Tony. Maybe the stories aren't, long-term, like, as invested into them, but by God, that man can put on a pay-per-view like no other. I don't care what you say. So, and the one thing I loved a lot about this show is it was heavily focused on the female division, and I think the female division of Ring of Honor is looking pretty damn good. But let's get right into it. Of course, the main event, got to see Mark Briscoe defend his Ring of Honor World Championship against Roderick Strong. This was cool just for us, any long-term wrestling fan of Ring of Honor, man, just to see kind of like these two OGs go at it. It was pretty awesome, man. A solid main event. Of course, Mark Briscoe retaining the Ring of Honor Championship. I'm really happy about that. But what I really want to talk about is these women's matchups, man, because these were like the best matches on the show by far. Athena defending her ROH Women's Championship against Queen Aminata. and maybe her toughest defense to date. This match was awesome, and I was blown away with how, like, because I was thinking, like, going into this, man, it's like, I don't know how well Athena's going to do, coming off of injuries and whatnot, but dude, she killed it, like, as if there was any doubt that the Fallen Goddess would deliver in this matchup. But this was a hell of a matchup, and Athena now is what, I think 50 some days away from breaking Samoa Joe's record as all-time champion of Ring of Honor. It's crazy to think, like, B-roll, who the hell is going to stop her?
I have no idea. I
mean, look at the list of people she's went through: Billy Starks, Willow Nightingale, Mercedes Martinez, like, and the list just goes on. And now you can add Queen Amanana to that list too.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be. I think for the longest time I thought it was Willow. Now I think maybe it's the protege. But when are we gonna get there? I don't know.
I don't know. And speaking of the protege, we had an incredible Ring of Honor World Television Championship match with Red Velvet going up against ROH TV champion Billy Starks. And Red Velvet is your new Ring of Honor Television champion. I'm a little bittersweet about this, if I'm being honest. Does Red Velvet deserve it? Abso-fucking-lutely. But I love Billy Starks to pieces. I mean, she's, from our neck of the woods. She's one of our homegrown stars. And that young lady has such a bright future ahead of her. It's nuts. I do think, though, from a storytelling perspective, this was a smart move for a couple of reasons. Number one, I think it develops more of this Billy Starks kind of like, okay, so she adopted the style of Athena, right? Just like this no holds barred, whatever type of attitude. And look what it did. It cost her the television title because Red Velvet is your new TV champion. So I'm like you. I think it's going to, at some point, the student will become the teacher. And I think that's going to be the moment. That's going to be the person. But nonetheless, this was an incredible matchup. And huge congratulations on Red Velvet. Much deserved win. And of course, Red Velvet is our wrestler of the week here on PW60. But I got to tell you, this is the one I'm chomping at the bit to talk about the most. This Texas death match between Diamante and Layla Hirsch. Holy shit, was this match awesome. This match had everything. Like, to me, this, honestly, man, this is what made me want to really turn it in and see this this show, was this matchup, man. And I got to tell you, these ladies freaking delivered. What'd you think of this Texas death match, my friend?
Oh, I absolutely love the spot where she has like the one shoe, and then she chucks it into the crowd.
Yeah.
And then, but wait, there's more.
Yep.
And the shoe with the tacks. Yeah, it was great. And as pictured here, that ladder spot. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and both these ladies are so talented too as well. And I'm happy to see Diamante get some get on television, because I've always enjoyed her from even back in like the dark days, man, on AEW. So I'm telling you, bro, I was so excited about this matchup. This match, like I say, delivered and then some. And of course, it had to be our match of the week here on PW60, was the Texas death match between Diamante and Layla Hirsch. Also, we got a new Pure champion and a great matchup as Lee Moriarty defeated Wheeler Yuta to win the Pure title. What did you think of that? I mean, part of me was a little surprised, but you know what? I feel like this is another kind of like Red Velvet, definitely well deserved for Lee Moriarty. What did you think?
Yeah, I think overall my consensus with this pay-per-view, I hope this is a step in the right direction for Ring of Honor and what we're doing with it. We've been clamoring at the bit for there to be like a distinguished group of people, or like pretty much like you're going to see them on Ring of Honor. Like, create some faces on Ring of Honor, and I'm hoping we're getting there. I'm more optimistic now. How about that?
I think that's a great way to put it. And like I say, I think this is another young man who definitely deserves a championship. So Be exciting to see what he does going forward in ROH. You know what? This match kind of surprised me too. I mean, anytime you get one of these survival of the fittest matches is really fun, but I honestly didn't think Atlantis was going to walk out the TV champion. But he did, and he is still your World Television, Ring of Honor World Television champion. Did you think he was going to walk out of it, or were you as surprised as me, or you kind of expected this?
I was as surprised as you. I in any multi-man match as the champion, survival of the fittest, even tougher. Like odds are against the champion, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, look what happened with Moose in TNA. I mean, but yeah, I was surprised.
Yeah, but it was awesome to see, and like, I think he's going to do a lot more with this title too, man. So, and the Kingdom, the Undisputed Kingdom, would retain their Ring of Honor Tag Team Championship and a great matchup against Tomohiro Ishii and Kyle O'Reilly. And we get some sprinkling and more of that kind of like that war with the Undisputed Kingdom and the conglomeration as well. So, anytime Ishii's on pay-per-view, come on, man, come on. That's all I need. I need Ishii on my TV all the time, and I'm good, brother. I am good. But a great tag team championship matchup. And the rest of the show was awesome as well. Seriously, do yourself a favor and go back and watch some of the Ring of Honor's Death Before Dishonor. Awesome show.
I absolutely loved the opener between.
Oh yeah.
Contender
With Taurus
Black,
and yeah,
whatever we're calling him now.
Yeah,
that was a very good match. To start the show.
And hey, we apologize. There's a lot more on that show, but we got so much we got to talk about this week, so we just got to move on here. But seriously, do yourself a favor and watch the Ring of Honor Death Before Dishonor. But let's talk about what happened this week on Monday Night Raw. Big Monday Night Raw, man. As we found out, Braun Breaker is now our number one contender for the IC title. He gets his rematch at SummerSlam. And the big one out of here, man. What about Punk is back. He is he's cleared from injury. Drew is reinstated. The chaos will ensue at SummerSlam, but we got a special guest referee, and it's Seth freaking Rollins, my friend. That's intriguing. That's intriguing to me. I mean, I'm pumped for the Drew Punk match, but Rollins being involved, that's going to be very, very interesting to see. And of course,
are we about to see like the drippiest referee outfit ever?
Oh, 100%, brother. 100%. And then let's talk about that no good damn Dirty Dom breaking the heart of Liv Morgan as he declared finally had to have mommy freaking in front of him. I mean, Dirty Dom, what the hell, bro? What the hell? Really? I mean, then again, if mommy was in front of me too, I would like fall to my knees probably. So I get it. Also, how about the Wyatt Six showing up and wreaking havoc as they have been, and got to see Uncle Howdy deliver a Sister Abigail. Loved it. Monday Night Raw was awesome. It was an amazing show as we're on our way to SummerSlam, which we're going to talk a lot more about that here in just a couple moments. But before we do that, let's talk about Friday Night SmackDown this past week, which is a loaded show as well. We do have new number one contenders for the tag team titles, and B-roll, I am scared shitless for DIY because they're going to have to go against the Bloodline, but it ain't just the Bloodline. We're talking Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu. And that match is going to take place this Friday on SmackDown from Cleveland in Johnny Gargano's hometown. Bro, I don't know, man. I mean, I hate to say it, but I think DIY's fucked. I mean, this would be their second title defense?
Well,
can they get past the Bloodline?
Yes.
How?
You know why? Because it's going to be a schmoz.
Oh, yeah. Shenanigans could be involved. I mean,
interference.
No disrespect to DIY, but I think that's the only way they're walking out the tag champions, man.
Yeah. I think Randy, Kevin, Cody come out.
I could see that.
All of them.
I could see that. Also, LA Knight went up against Santos Escobar, and of course, Logan Paul getting involved in that matchup. And we also got Tiffany Stratton and Nia Jax going up against Michin and Bailey. SmackDown was a very interesting show as we are really on that road to SummerSlam, because SummerSlam is this weekend. Holy guacamole. Can you believe it? And to get you ready for SummerSlam, let's go one more time to our PW60 SummerSlam Control Center.
Well, hello again, wrestling fans. It's I, good old XLJ, coming to you from the SummerSlam Control Center here for PW60. And yes, SummerSlam is finally here, as it will be taking place in just 3 days from beautiful Cleveland, Ohio. And it is a stacked card, to say the least. So let's run the card down for you. Of course, this past week on Monday Night Raw, we did find out it is official. CM Punk has been cleared from injury, and he will take on the recently reinstated Drew McIntyre, as this matchup will finally take place at SummerSlam. But we did find out that this matchup will have a special guest referee, and that's going to be one Seth freaking Rollins. There are so many combustible elements in this matchup. It's going to make like a science teacher's wet dream, I tell you. This matchup is going to be explosive. It's long overdue, and it is truly going to be the definition of a slobber knocker. And yours truly cannot wait to see what's going to happen in this encounter at SummerSlam. And I tell you, WWE might as well have Midas sponsor this show, because we got a total of 6 championship matches that will be held from Cleveland at SummerSlam. Of course, we now know that Braun Breaker will challenge Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental Championship. And I tell you, Sami got by just this much in their last encounter. And I got a feeling, according to Steiner math, Braun Breaker has got 133 and a third% chance of taking home that Intercontinental title and putting his foot off in Sami Zayn's ass. Sorry, Sami. Love you, buddy. And of course, the United States Championship will be on the line as Logan Paul returns to his hometown, where he will defend against the #1 contender, LA Knight. I'm telling you, I think my old Paul has bitten off a little bit more than he could chew in this matchup. I bet he's awful thirsty. I am too. Can I get some prime? Oh, they got a lawsuit against him against the Olympics? Oh. I'll just chug some barbecue sauce after this. It's okay. And we also know the WWE Women's Championship is up for grabs, as Bailey will defend against the Queen of the Ring winner, Nia Jax. And one has to wonder if the Money in the Bank winner, Tiffany Stratton, will be on standby to cash in that briefcase. All I know is this matchup makes me want to eat a lot of cake. And speaking of cake, the WWE Women's World Championship is on the line as Liv Morgan's revenge tour looks to make a pit stop in Cleveland, Ohio against Mommy herself. Rhea Ripley is back, and Mommy looks to kick off her revenge tour in Cleveland. So many damn revenge tours. I just can't keep track of them. Nonetheless, this encounter is going to be spectacular, and one has to wonder what's going to happen with Dirty Dom, as it looks like him and Mommy have reconciled, and he has broken the heart of young Liv Morgan. It's okay, Liv. Call me. You know, I'll show you a real good time in Oklahoma. And also, your WWE World Heavyweight Championship will be on the line as Damian Priest defends that title against Gunther, the winner of the King of the Ring. And I tell you, the Ring General is out to take that championship. And one has to wonder if he's gotten in the head of one Damian Priest with the comments he's made over the past several weeks. I know one thing. This is going to be the match of the night when it comes to big meaty men slapping meat. You might as well pull some more barbecue sauce on this and fry up a couple of steaks or two. Even though that doesn't make any sense, because that's a lot of meat already. I got high cholesterol. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. It's going to be an awesome match nonetheless. And of course, we know Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare, will put that WWE Undisputed Championship on the line against one Solo Sikoa. And Solo Sikoa has got all the momentum going into this matchup. And he wants to prove to the world that he is, in fact, the true tribal chief now. And to do that, he's going to have to take that WWE Championship from Cody Rhodes. And I'll tell you, I just can't see Cody losing, but I can't see Solo losing either. I don't know. Maybe the Bloodline can spike Cody's like water bottle with some Wheatley's vodka or something to take advantage of it. Oh God, that sounded terrible. I didn't mean it like that. I tell you this, SummerSlam is going to be an amazing show, and it all comes to you in just 48 hours from beautiful Cleveland, Ohio. LeBron James still play there? What the hell's Cleveland got? Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to lather my body all up with barbecue sauce. What you don't know is I'm not wearing pants right now. Back to you in the studio. Boomer Sooner. That's the safe word.
Oh, dear God. Well, thank you, good old XLJ, for that SummerSlam report. Thank God that's the last one. How is it he could ever get the fucking dates right, man? Anyways, nonetheless.
I don't know if we're going to hire him back or not. I don't know.
I don't know. We'll see. Time will tell. But hey, SummerSlam is this weekend. And hey, if you're in the Cleveland area, make sure if you see us out and about, stop us and say hello, because we're going to be all over Cleveland SummerSlam weekend. We'll be there Friday all day, Saturday all day. We'll be at the GCW show. We'll be at the WWE Superstore. We're going to be all
WrestleCon.
over SummerSlam, WrestleCon, just to name a few. It's exciting, and we cannot wait. And by the way, you're going to see all that content coming to you next week and then after, because next week's our SummerSlam week here on Cold TV. But nonetheless, let's get back to PW60, and let's talk about NXT from this past week. And what about the opener on this one with Brooks Jensen and Josh Briggs, man? And Brooks picking up the win. And it kind of seems like, Josh Briggs obviously going off to Japan now to work in that N1 tournament for Pro Wrestling Noah. So it's kind of interesting little send-off there. Makes me wonder what's going to happen with Brooks Jensen going forward too, man, because he's a wild man. He's unpredictable. I don't know what he's going to do next.
We do not know, but man, of course, we got another Rascals.
Yeah, main event, man. The Rascals going up against Axiom, Nathan Frazier, and Javon Evans was an incredible 6-man tag team matchup. Also found out some stuff going into Great American Bash coming up this next week. Lexis King and Eddie Thorpe. That surprised the hell out of me. Eddie Thorpe picking up a huge win against Lexis King as well. And, of course, Trick Williams in there with Cedric Alexander was awesome. And then, Ashanti, man, was throwing his shot, with Metaphor there. But they weren't having any of it. But we say it week in and week out, folks. If you're not watching NXT on Tuesday nights, what the hell are you doing with your Tuesdays? Because Chef Michael is cooking over at NXT. And say his name and he appears. Joe Hendry is going to be in concert at the Great American Bash this coming Tuesday. This is fucking awesome. I'm so excited about this. I mean, this is amazing. By God, like seriously, this man was putting flyers for his concert like on cars at NXT, signed by Joe Hendry. Like, if that does not show you dedication, folks, I don't know what does. But I am super stoked for this. Cannot wait for the Great American Bash these next couple weeks on NXT. Speaking of Joe Hendry, like we say, you say his name, he appears, and he appeared at an NXT house show this past week as well. You just never know when Joe Hendry's going to show up, man. All you got to do, just say his name. Joe Hendry. I think he's having problems with his flight, but he'll be here soon. Maybe we'll get Joe Hendry by the end of the show. Who knows? But like we say, Great American Bash is going to be a 2-week special event. It kicks off tomorrow night and will go next week as well on August the 6th. And you can catch it all on Sci-Fi because we got the Olympics going on right now. So all WWE's programming is going to be over on Sci-Fi. So it's going to
That's
be
right.
awesome.
So as you're getting ready to tune into Raw in about 30
forget.
minutes here, it's on the Sci-Fi.
on Sci-Fi. It is not on USA Network tonight. Just FYI. But there's a ton of great stuff coming to you in NXT. They are killing it right now. Well, my friend, it is that time of the show. We need to get some advice from one of our own. Let's go to Sienna with some advice for us wrestling fans.
So we're now halfway of 2024. I know it's going by hella quick. Wrestling itself is starting to become more stronger than ever. I mean, you have like different companies like pro wrestling and independent wrestling in a partnership to like stars that are like being recognizable, that is starting to become more breakout stars than ever, to bookings that is like make more sense, and even like long-term storytelling and everything that's going on with wrestling. And it's like it's starting to become much more exciting and much more to talk about as well. And some people say that it kind of reminds them of like the old school territorial days, but it actually is, but like more modernized too, and it's starting to become more elevated too. And despite the fact that like a lot has been going on with wrestling, despite the controversies, despite the whole like drama, the sadness, everything going on within the wrestling industry itself and the community too, at the end of the day, like, it's still going to continue on just to bring the whole aspect of what wrestling is all about too. And especially for us wrestling fans, that is one thing that we're really looking forward to. And it's an escape to the reality from everyday life as well. So I'm really looking forward to what's going to be happening like up until the end of the year, but we shall see, y'all.
Oh, we shall see indeed. Thank you so much, Sienna. And hey, shout out to her if you're going to be in Cleveland. She's going to be with us in Cleveland too. Like I say, you see us all out and about, you got to stop us, say hi, because we love talking wrestling with everybody. So let's go back to AEW this week. As like we say, Tony Khan had a busy ass week this week. And let's talk about Rampage from Friday night, as we got the Royal Rampage Battle Royale to determine the number one contender for the AEW Championship at for the oh god, I'm drawing a blank. The show in New York.
Grand Slam.
I want to. Yes, thank you for Grand Slam, and we have a new number one contender, and Darby Allin will challenge for the AEW Championship as he picked up the victory in. You don't seem like you're too impressed.
I'm not.
Really? Can you explain real quickly?
Didn't he win this last year?
You know what? I think he did win a battle royal, but I don't think it was for an AEW title shot. I think it was for a TNT title shot.
Are you sure?
Pretty positive, because he wasn't against Brody. Didn't he throw Brody out last or something?
Yeah, via suicide dive.
Yeah. So yeah, it's interesting you pointed that out, because I completely forgot about that. So, well, nonetheless, I think whoever Darby faces at Grand Slam is going to be an interesting matchup, whether it is Swerve Strickland or Bryan Danielson. Should be
It'll be
interesting.
Swerve.
Yeah, I think it'll be Swerve too. But with like, I was kind of wondering, like, going into All In, who was going to walk out. But as soon as like this happened, and maybe that's my biggest gripe with this, is like, well, that's kind of obvious, isn't it? But I don't know. Crazier things has happened, so we'll just see what happens. Come All In at Wembley.
Not
Stadium.
happy about this.
I could
Can't
tell
tell.
you were very, very distraught. I could tell, but you know what? It was all good, because one of my beautiful, amazing wrestling wives, Chris Statlander, was in action. She just doesn't know it yet. Hi, Chris. And she went up against Layla Gray. We keep talking about, man, Rampage actually hasn't been too bad this past couple of months. You know, it seems like
No.
it picked up some momentum.
Now that is facts. I will agree with you there. Anytime Lance Archer's in action, it's a win.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But just remember, everybody dies.
Yep.
But yeah, solid show.
Solid show. And then we got Collision on Saturday night, where we got. We keep talking about the Collision seems to be like. It seems like Rampage has kind of surpassed Collision as the second best show, and there was some decent moments. It does seem like maybe Hologram is going to be like a Collision guy, or even I don't even think we're really doing that, but I mean, he's kind of making it exciting on Collision. I would say he was the highlight again, going up against Mortos. Of course, we got to see Thunder Rosa in action, was awesome. Orange Cassidy against Johnny TV. And of course, the former Maximum Male Waddles or MXM going up against FTR. Not a bad show, but like I say, just compared to what Collision was before in the past, it just felt kind of like it's okay. So, one thing I will say, and we talked about this, where they've been filming this, the set is pretty dope. I like the set, like at that esports center in like Texas or whatever.
Yes, most definitely. It is definitely a cool setup. The Death Before Dishonor was there. Collision was there.
And what else was there, Mr. B-Roll? Battle of the Belts. That's right. We had another Battle of the Belts. And I'm going to say this. This is probably the best Battle of the Belts they've done since maybe the first one. May even be better than that. This was a good show, man. Of course, you had your Tony Storm go up against Taya I can't speak.
Taya Valkyria.
Thank you. In a eliminator match. Ugh. But it's great to see Tony Storm back and like the whole this new kind of like dark persona, you know. So that and it was a great matchup too. Willow Nightingale going up against Deonna Purrazzo for the CMLL Championship. Great matchup. I know you're not a huge fan of the outcome, but nonetheless,
can't win them
all. Yeah, that's right. And Willow retains her CMLL Championship, continuing on with the stellar year she's having.
All right, now
but
let
the big
me continue. Let me finish here.
Okay.
All right. If anybody wants to talk crap about Dustin Rhodes winning the title in his home state at the tail end of his career, I'm prepared to fight you, and that is all I'm going to say.
Yes, I couldn't agree with you more, my friend. But great moment for him and the Von Erichs winning the Ring of Honor 6-man tag team championship. Great aftermath too with the interview that Dustin cut, the promo he cut along with the Von Erichs. It was awesome, man. It was a feel good show. Battle of the Belts was great, man. Why can't we get more Battle of the Belts shows like this? You know, I thoroughly enjoyed it, man. I thought it was a good, solid show, and honestly, it was a great week for AEW overall. But let's talk about All In as it is coming up here. And we've already got some incredible matchups. We know Swerve Strickland defended that world title against Bryan Danielson. Tony Storm defending against Mariah May for the women's title. We now know Jack Perry will defend his TNT championship against Darby Allin. MJF to defend his international championship against Will Ospreay. And we found out at Comic-Con this past week that Mercedes Moné will defend against Britt Baker for the TBS championship. Dude, this right here, this is freaking loaded.
Yeah, wait, is it Mercedes or is it Poison Ivy? Because it was Poison Ivy.
I thought you were getting ready to go off and talk about how the international title is not the international title. It's the what's he calling it? The American title or something? It's not United States. I dumb forget, but that belt design seriously is a little sick. I ain't gonna lie. So, but seriously, man, already these are all main event matches right here. It's like whatever they add to the show, and you know they're going to add to the show, is just going to be like, you know, the icing on the cake, so to speak, man. So excited to see where we go from here, and we got plenty more time for All In as we're on that road to All In. Well, my friend, I think you were ready to spice things up a little bit here on the show. So let's go to Spicy Guac for a spicy take.
I am a goddamn ninja.
Do you like my jackets?
I got a gun.
What the hell? Oh, I love you, Spicy. That's amazing. Like, yeah, Spicy and Gustavo up to no good this past weekend. But shout out to our boy Spicy. We love you, brother. Let's talk about Impact from this past week. Coming off of that amazing Slammiversary show, looks like we're going to be getting Nick Nemeth's first title defense, or his rivalry is going to be against none other than Mustafa Ali. Holy crap, that is going to be amazing. Just go ahead and take my freaking money now, man. Also, we got that tag team match that was set up at Slammiversary with Hammerstone teaming up with one Ash by Elegance, going up against Eric Young and your Knockouts champion Jordan Grace. And then we also, in the main event, we got to see Matt Hardy team up with ABC to go up against the System. And of course, TNA Emergence is going to be the next big event. And guess what? Your boy is going to be there. That's right. I'm going to be there front and center in Louisville, Kentucky. And we'll have a vlog from that coming to you at the end of the month as well. Cole TV's everywhere, man. So, but I'm excited for that and excited to see what's going to come in the build up to Emergence. But great show following Slammiversary from this past week. And the G1 Climax 34 is just raging on here, and we've got an update, a big update on your rankings. So over in A block, the leader is the undefeated Evil. God damn it. Evil has 10 points, followed by Zack Sabre Jr. at A, and then you got Gabe Kidd and Shota Umino with 6 points. Shingo Takagi and Callum Newham, along with Sonata and Tetsu Naito at 4 points, and the Great Okan and Jake Lee at 2 points. So I'm a little surprised about Jake Lee, man. I thought he was going to be like getting a ton of points starting off, but I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully he can get back in it. So, and over on the B block is we've got a two-way tie for the top. We've got Yuya Uemura and Takeshita with 6 points, while Hanare, Rin Narita, Jeff Cobb, Hiroki Goto, Oleg Bolton, and David Finlay all at 4 points. And at the bottom, we got Yoto Tsuji and El Phantasmo with 2 points. But one thing this year, unlike we've seen in past years, everybody's at least on the board. So that's exciting to see. So nonetheless, the G1, yes, TNA is cooking, my friend. And so are you, buddy. And he took out his gun. I'm sorry, I just had to say it one time. But the G1 Climax is looking awesome. And it is the most wonderful time of year in Japan for pro wrestling because there are summer tournaments galore. And one of the biggest women's tournament of the year is coming up in Stardom. And there's a lot going on in Joshi Wrestling. So you know what that means. Let's go to our good friend, the Light Skin Gaijin, with a report on what's going on with Joshi Wrestling.
You know, if you were to tell me that Stardom Sapporo World Rendezvous would be a tale of two halves, you would be accurately correct. I mean, look at these two. It's no wonder they had two different promotional posters. It's me. It's the LSG, the Light Skin Gaijin, back here with you once again to give you a Stardom review, as well as a review of everything that's going on in the world of Joshi Wrestling. Stardom took over Sapporo this weekend with its Sapporo World Rendezvous shows taking place Saturday and Sunday. The big thing here is we would finally figure out who would take the 4 remaining spots in the 5-Star Grand Prix starting August 10th. Yuna Mizumori would claim one of the spots in the 5-Star Grand Prix qualifier tournament with a win over Waka Tsukiyama, so she will compete in the Red Stars A block. We would also have an announcement of who would claim the 2 spots in Blue Stars A and B blocks. Claiming the final spot in Blue Stars B would be Risa Sera, who competed in the 2022 5-Star Grand Prix. And for one of the final spots remaining in Blue Stars A block, that would be claimed by All Elite Wrestling's Anna Jay. Anna Jay will be competing in her very first 5-Star Grand Prix. And I absolutely think this is wonderful, not just for AEW, but for Stardom and Joshi Wrestling as a whole. It's actually been a while since we had some international flavor to the 5-Star Grand Prix, so can't wait to see how this shapes up. It was also finally announced that the quintet of Mei Seira, Starlight Kid, Azumi, Suzu Suzuki, and Miyu Amasaki finally had the name to their faction. After months of speculation, it finally came out what this group was going to be named prior to their 10-woman tag team match with Stars. A matchup that this group took the victory in, and now you can refer to them as Neo Genesis. EXV members Micah and Mina Shirakawa would team up with Saya Kamitani and Shuri to take on Oedo Tai, who eventually did Oedo Tai things. and would come out victorious before Maika would defend the World of Stardom Championship Sunday against Natsuko Tora. And night one would culminate with the huge main event where Saori Anou would defend the white belt against Natsupoi. Saori and Natsupoi's histories runs very, very deep. You can say that they are the best of friends, but also the fiercest of rivals as well. But in the end, it would be Natsupoi who would claim victory and would become the 23rd Wonder of Stardom champion. As for night 2, it was primarily a tale of the good, the bad, and the downright scary. First, the good. Neo Genesis started off night 2 by adding gold to their faction as Mei Seira would defeat Saya Kamitani to become the high-speed champion once again. And then the night seemingly got better for Neo Genesis as Miyu Amasaki would defeat Lady C to claim the final remaining spot in the 5-star Grand Prix. After Konami's betrayal of Shuri at an event at Korakuen Hall that cost them the Goddess of Stardom championships, Shuri would go on to defeat Konami via disqualification. Mayu Iwatani and Hanan of Eye Contact would defeat the team of Meltear, Tam Nakano, and Natsupoi, and Tam has vowed for an opportunity to take away the IWGP Women's Championship. If you know your Stardom history, you'll know why I'm excited for that. But also, the opening round of the 5-star Grand Prix will definitely kick off with Mayu Iwatani versus Tam Nakano. And in the main event, it would be Maika defending the World of Stardom Championship against Oedo Tai leader Natsuko Tora. And of course, this was a very, very physical battle. And just when we thought Maika had the victory, Saya Kamitani, who had just recently lost the High Speed Championship, would cost Maika the World of Stardom Championship, effectively ending Queen's Quest for good and joining up with Oedo Tai. No, excuse me, they're no longer named Oedo Tai. Natsuko Tora would address the audience there in Sapporo that Oedo Tai is no more. Instead, they will be simply known as Hate. Have we just effectively seen the end of Stardom as we know it? Matter of fact, have we effectively seen the end of Joshi Wrestling? The red belt clearly has a dark cloud hovering over it. All I know is that there are dark days ahead of us within Stardom. And with the 5-star Grand Prix just over the horizon, who will be next in line to challenge for the World of Stardom Championship come Dream Queendom? Ladies and gentlemen, you're going to want to follow Stardom on all of their socials. Make sure you sign up for Stardom World so you don't miss a single match within the 5-star Grand Prix. And make sure you're subscribed to Cole TV as well as the Light Skin Gaijin to keep you updated on everything that's going to go down within that tournament. And that's not the only news in the world of Joshi. Marigold is crowning new tag team champions. The titles in question will be known as the Marigold Twin Star Championships. And this Tuesday, we will see the semifinals and finals of this tournament to crown brand new champions. In one semifinal match, we will see Miko Aono and Natsumi Shozuki taking on the team of Twin Tower, Koki Amare and Chika Goto. In the other semifinal match, the team of Mai Saku, Mai Sakurai, and Mirai will take on the tandem of Chiaki and Nagisa Nozaki. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to take place tomorrow at Korakuen Hall, so you might want to sign up for Wrestle Universe just so you don't miss this awesome tournament that's going to happen. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for me, but remember, if you want to follow everything that's happening in the world of Joshi, don't forget to follow me on all of my socials. Make sure you subscribe to Cole TV so you don't miss a single episode of PW60, and as always, Joshi Wrestling is for everyone.
Yes, it is. And man, Light Skin, we love you, brother. And thank you so much for that report. Because, man, there's just so much going on there, man. It's just getting bigger and bigger, especially with like Marigold going on. But speaking of Joshi Wrestling, a little bit of sad news, but, not sad for the career that this competitor had, as it came out this past week, as the great Miko Satomori has announced her retirement from in-ring competition, and she actually ended it at the WWE shows that was over there in Japan this week. And what a hell of a matchup, challenging Bayley for the WWE Women's Championship. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. But seriously, if you've never seen her, go back and watch her stuff. You can see her stuff in NXT. on Peacock or NXT UK. Look her up on YouTube. She's just an amazing, amazing Joshi wrestler, and sad to see her career come to an end. But what an amazing career she had. And we here at PW60 want to wish Miko Satomura the best in whatever she decides to choose to do next, whether that's in the world of professional wrestling or whatever it may be. Also, we're coming up on SummerSlam, as you all know, and it was announced this week that SummerSlam will be held in a tryout. And yes, B-roll. This is the first time WWE has ever done this. It is a tryout that is literally open to the public. Anybody can try out. That's right, even you, my friend. Are you gonna stretch those hammies? There you go. And hey, we already know one tryout is actually going to be Evander Holyfield's son is going to be a part of this. So it's going to be interesting to see that they're doing a open tryout there at SummerSlam. And
I don't think I'm going to make the cut, by the way.
Oh no, though. What about this? Old Logan Paul, his United States Championship's coming up here, but Prime may be in trouble as they are facing a lawsuit from the Olympics for some of the taglines they're using that apparently are have to be run through the Olympics. I don't know, but I do love me some Prime, but they may be in trouble, bro. I don't know. What do you think of this?
I mean, I think when you mess with the Olympics, that Olympic committee might be the scariest committee in all the committees.
Yeah, don't fuck around. That's for damn sure. Well, hey, San Diego Comic-Con took place this past weekend, as the whole world knows. Holy shit, Robert Downey Jr. is back as Dr. Doom in the Marvel Universe. But anyways, AEW and WWE were well represented as they had multiple panels going on. Of course, Tony Khan making that matchup for All In with Poison Ivy going up against Britt Baker, and kudos to Camille dressed as Bane. I never thought I'd be turned on by a Bane costume. But anyways, that was crazy. But let's talk about the moment that broke the fucking internet, or the IWC. Yes, this photo is real. Drew McIntyre and Jack Perry running into each other. Like, if there's an award for trolling wrestler of the year, maybe trolling wrestler of all time, it is Drew McIntyre, because his social is next level. Like, this just, like, I showed this to you and you were just like, you were laughing your ass off when you first saw this.
Yep.
God, Drew's a menace, right? Like, like, seriously, I don't think I've ever seen anybody troll like Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, I'm going to go on record and say this. If you look up the definition of trolling in the Webster's Dictionary, there's a picture of Drew McIntyre.
You're damn right. Indeed. Well, hey, big weekend for indie wrestling. Let's start off first with Josh Barnett's Bloodsport 11 took place last night in Brooklyn. And, dude, this was a loaded show with the Creed brothers on it from WWE, Shayna Baszler in the main event against Miyu Yamahara. My God, Masha Slamovich in action. This show was freaking awesome. And how about MVP showed up as well to challenge Josh Barnett at the next Bloodsport. You can catch a replay of this over on Fight TV, or no, what do we call Triller TV now? I'm
Triller
sorry.
TV.
It'll always be Fight to me, but Bloodsport was an awesome show, man. And yeah, here you go. Look, MVP is looking like a stud too, man. Look at him. It's like I'm excited to see what happens. And MVP, keep in mind, an established, I believe, Muay Thai or Jiu-Jitsu or something like that. He's got a background in, or Judo. I think it's Judo. I'm sorry. IWC is going to tear me apart for that. But anyways, MVP, cannot wait to see him in a Bloodsport ring. Let's talk about House of Glory. Had a huge show this past weekend with high intensity that also featured a dream matchup as AEW champion Swerve Strickland performed and went up against a all-time legend in Amazing Red, which was an awesome, awesome matchup. And a huge shout out to Silla Fatu on winning his first major singles championship as well. A House of Glory is an awesome, awesome company. If you've never watched one of their shows, do yourself a favor and catch them. And you can catch that over on Triller TV as well. And shout out to one Raj Desi, the former Jinder Mahal picked up his first championship win outside of the WWE, as he is now the new Black Label Pro champion, which we love some Black Label Pro, like, we're right in our neck of the woods too. So awesome to see.
And you can catch that on Triller TV as well. So
and they don't pay us.
I mean, basically, they should pay us for a subscription. And also, what you're telling me is the Jinder was not hindered.
You're damn right. So, well, like we say, there's so much going on in the world of independent wrestling. Thank God we've got our wrestling encyclopedia with us who can tell us all about some of the great indie shows you need to be checking out. Let's go to Michael with an indie report.
What up, yo? It's more Michael here with another independent wrestling event report. First off, we have Pro Wrestling Epic presents Stand on Business. Saturday, August 3rd at St. Bridget of Kildare School. That is at 223 West Union Street, Pacifico, Missouri 63069. For tickets, please call 618-806-4656. Doors open at 6 p.m. Bell time is at 6:30. Secondly, we have Spot Monkey Promotions presents Uprising, August 9th at 1155 Old State Route 74 in Batavia, Ohio, 45103. For tickets, please go to spotmonkeypromotions.com. Doors open at 6 p.m. Bell time is at 7 p.m. And lastly, we have Oblivion Pro Wrestling presents their next event, Friday, August 23rd, at the Thurston County Fairgrounds at 3054 Carpenter Road Southeast in Lacey, Washington, 98503. Doors open at 6 p.m. Bell time is at 7. OblivionWrestling.com for more information and tickets.
Oh, well, thank you so much, Michael. We appreciate, man. What would we do without him not knowing about some of these great indie shows that you need to check out? And always support independent pro wrestling. And hey, speaking of indie wrestling, let's talk about the biggest independent wrestling event of the year is coming. Friday, August 23rd. It's the Smitty coming to Spencer, Indiana. And this is going to be an amazing one-night show. It's a 16-competitor tournament all in one night. There can be only one Smitty. And your boys from Cole TV are so proud to be a part of this show. We're going to be there. And as you've been watching us, you know we're helping promote this and stuff. Seriously, I don't care if you're a 4-6 hour driving distance. Get your ass to Spencer, Indiana, to the Owen Valley Sports Complex, Friday, August 23rd. This is going to be a once-in-a-lifetime show you are not going to want to miss. And like I say, if you've been watching us here on Colt TV, you know we've been talking about it a lot. You've seen our commercials. Matter of fact, we had a commercial drop just this past week on learning the ropes. Speaking of which, because sometimes trying to put all this stuff together, it can be a little bit challenging and stuff, and like every now and then, you do get some outtakes, some bloopers, if you will. And our good buddy, the Best Scout Machine, had a little bit of trouble with his segment in our commercial. So much so we've got some of that footage we're going to show you right now.
Schmitty is coming. I've never seen that episode of SpongeBob. The Schmitty is coming, and so am I. Am I bleeding? Am I bleeding? I thought it said beard mate. It's board mate. I thought Elmer's had come up with a new beard oil. I'm going to have to shave some of this off. Where's my wife, honey? The good thing about being a girl is it's good to have a little fun. Man, short skirt. Wanna free, I feel the way I feel. Man, I feel like a woman. Shania Twain. The Schmitty is coming. The Schmitty is coming. The Schmitty is coming.
Oh, well, the Smitty is coming. And remember, it is Friday, August 23rd. We love you, Best Gal. And seriously, a huge shout out and thank you to all of our friends and creators who was able to help us out. And we're going to have plenty more information of the Smitty coming here in the following weeks. It's going to be an
I've
amazing.
seen Best Scout's nipples on this show.
Not enough. Not enough, my friend. Well, I just got word from the network. We are being allowed an overrun tonight. So exciting news. And yeah, gout is my spirit animal. I agree, Spicy. And let's talk about this. WWE has hired their newest great international talent as Delta Brady. I think I said that. Delta Brady has signed with WWE. I got to be honest. I really don't know a whole lot about her. I've heard people talk about her. I guess she's from Australia, my understanding. And we know Australia can put out some amazing talent.
Like who? Who's ever come from Australia?
Well, let me ask you this: in your travels, B-roll, have you ever come across this young lady?
I have not, but she has been compared to one mommy.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see, but like they've signed so many great women between her, between Stephanie Fakur, between Julia. So many amazing female talent coming to the WWE, and I'm excited to see where it goes from next. Now, this is exciting, interesting too. Tubi, which if you follow us on Friday Night Movie Night, you know we love Tubi because they got some of the greatest, best movies. But Tubi is looking to get into the wrestling business as they're looking to start showing some professional wrestling content, which if memory serves me correctly, I think they do kind of have something on there. I think at one point they had some Lucha Underground on there, but hey, man, the more pro wrestling we can get on a streaming platform, the better as far as I am concerned, my friend. But this is pretty interesting to see what exactly Tubi's going to get in the coming weeks and months. Now, this is sad. I hate to hear this, man. You don't know Johnny Gargano's father, who owns a restaurant in Cleveland. Recently, his restaurant suffered a fire, and it is going to be closed permanently for the time being. Which just sucks. I mean, the timing is obviously it's terrible, but the timing, especially with SummerSlam coming to Cleveland, you just hate to hear this, man. So I hope everything goes okay for the Garganos, and hopefully his dad can get his restaurant back up and running soon again. And this one hits home to me, my friend. Steve Mongo McMichael was inducted this past week in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. This was long overdue as a lifetime Bears fan. Happy to see it. Of course, we all know Mongo was a big part of the Four Horsemen in the 90s, so I love to see it, man. Congratulations to you, Mongo, man. I know you were battling a hell of a fight, brother, but this is so well deserved and long overdue to see Steve Mongo McMichael in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Well, Mr. B-Roll, it's that time of the show. Let's go to Brian with Brian's Random Moment of the Week.
Sitting in the car of random at the moment. America, USA, baby. All that stuff. All right. So, backing you for the P to the W to the 6 to the 0. Once again for the Random Moment of the Week. The last time we officially met up, as far as my segment, I believe one of the content questions, things like that, had to do with Shawn Michaels and one of the most infamous and famous tag team breakups ever of the Rockers. And we talked about that. Speaking of tag teams, going to promote myself a little bit. Over onto the Tick to the Talk and You Don't Stop. This last week we had Tag Team Week. Looked at some great questions there, top 5 format. So go check those out if you don't mind, please. And thank you. Now, speaking of the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, let's take a look at 1998. And we know he suffered the back injury, I believe it was Royal Rumble against The Undertaker. And then, of course, losing the title to Steve Austin, went into his retirement, his 4-year retirement, except for that one match at his school. and did some special refereeing, commissioner work, things like that. So here's the big what if. What if Shawn Michaels did not suffer that injury in 1998 and was able to continue his career full-time all the way through until he retired? During that 4-year period of the Attitude Era, how would the ramifications have been for that for D-Generation X? If they would have had Shawn there also and everybody else, would they have kicked him out? Would they have been a super group? What do you think? What matches do you think we would have got during the Attitude Era during that period of time, going into 2002 when he did come back, that period he missed? So, comment, let us know. What if Shawn Michaels never suffered the injury in 1998? How would that have been professionally and personally for him? So, enjoy the rest of PW60. Bye for now.
Oh, Brian, we thank you. Man, he always asks the great questions, man. And seriously, if you're not following that man on TikTok and other social media platforms, go give our buddy Brian a follow because we love him. We love him dearly. And you know who else we love dearly? We love our wrestling content creators. And this week, our wrestling content creator of the week is One Hot Take Wrestling. I had the distinct honor and privilege, along with our good buddy Michael, of having him as part of a guest this past week on Learning the Ropes. And man, that episode was amazing, which you can catch a replay here. I gotta tell you, dude, Joe is hilarious. This guy, he has such awesome videos as well. He's got great takes on wrestling. And of course, he's part of one of the hottest factions going today in all of Wrestle Talk and the IWC community, La Familia. Go give Hot Take Wrestling a follow. Such awesome content. And go give the rest of La Familia a follow too as well, man. We love them to pieces here on Cole TV. His Hot Take Wrestling's our Ruby Ringside content creator of the week. And speaking of Ruby Ringside, she's got a big weekend coming up as she will be at the Gathering with very special guest one, the Suplex Assassin, Alex Kane. So if you are in the Charlotte, North Carolina area this weekend, make sure you stop by and see Ruby Ringside and Alex Kane. It's going to be an amazing time there at the Gathering. The Gathering always delivers. And you definitely need to stop by and see the fastest rising star in all of wrestling podcasting, Ruby Ringside, and one of the fastest rising wrestlers, Alex Kane. It's a match made in heaven, I tell you. And we just found this out. MJF, man, he's throwing stones, bro. And he has called out one of the UK's biggest talents, one Michael Oku, who, if you don't know, this is a young man that Will Ospreay has went on to proclaim as the next great UK star. But they will have a matchup, I believe, at the beginning of August over in the UK, as MJF will be going over there to defend his newly won his America's Championship, or whatever the hell we're calling it. But that's going to be an interesting matchup. And this is pretty cool. Both the WWE and AEW are in heavy talks with Las Vegas to host some events in the new Sphere. Now, if you don't know what the Sphere is in Vegas, this is a one of the most unique arenas probably in the world. It's a dome essentially that's all like 3D and stuff, but they are talking of trying to do shows here at the Sphere. You could even I don't know, they could do Raw or something there for WrestleMania next year. But I don't know how you do it, but it would be cool as hell, I think, to see anything at the Sphere. But this is interesting news, and we will keep listening and see what happens in the coming weeks here to see who strikes first and gets a deal with the Sphere and what's going to be there. And finally, we got to talk about this. We've talked about it for a long time, but it finally appears it may be happening, folks, as the WWE met with overseas with the UK, and it looks like they may, in fact, finally be getting a WrestleMania. I honestly don't mind this. I think this is great. I mean, the UK crowds are awesome. They definitely deserve a WrestleMania. This is huge, man. What do you think of this news?
I think the time is now. Strike while the iron is hot. I think the time is now. I mean, no pun intended, because literally John Cena came out as a surprise, and he said he like one of the first ones to say like, we need to bring a WrestleMania to London.
Yeah, and it looks like it may be happening. And you know what I love about it the most, B-roll? WrestleMania in the afternoon. Sign me the fuck up, brother. So let's
give
do
me
it.
some
Deal.
fish and chips, and I don't even like fish.
And I can be in bed by like 9 o'clock. I love it. So pro wrestling. We got a big week up ahead as we are on the road to SummerSlam. SummerSlam is this weekend. And as we said before, if you're in the Cleveland, Ohio area, you see us out and about, make sure you come and stop us, talk to us, because we want to talk to you about everything we love in pro wrestling.
Don't forget to watch me try out.
And don't forget to see Mr. B-Roll try out. That's going to wrap it up for this episode of PW60. I'm XLJ the OG, and we'll see you next time on another episode of PW60. Everybody have an awesome week on the road to SummerSlam.
How's Raw been so far? What channel?